Hello everyone, welcome back to CMAT Score Booster series and welcome back to Testport MBA Prep. In this session, we shall look into one of the topics which is so crucial that you need to understand, and it is also relevant for the innovation and entrepreneurship section of your CMAT, which is the content protection. So before getting into the actual topic, so what is meant by IPR, the intellectual property rights and types of intellectual property rights, and also the practice set, the practice exercise that we are going to look into. Before that, I'll just explain you the prerequisites that you need to understand before getting into the IPRs. So let me explain you very briefly. WTO, which is the World Trade Organization, you all know that it was formed in the year 1995. But before WTO, the organization that was in existence was GATT. GATT simply means the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Tariffs and Trade. So in 1995, till 1995, GATT used to be there, but in 1995, what happened was World Trade Organization replaced GATT, right? Now, as far as WTO is concerned, the next question is, who takes the decisions in the World Trade Organization? Who is the decision maker? Who is the decision maker? Have you ever thought about this? Who takes the decisions in the World Trade Organization? It's the Ministerial Conference. It's the Ministerial Conference. So this Ministerial Conference is the top, we can say it's the top decision making body of the World Trade Organization, and this Ministerial Conference is it's like the group of all the trade ministers and all the let's say the senior officials of all the various countries all over the world. I mean, who are a part of the World Trade Organization, the countries who are a part of World Trade Organization. So each and every official of each and every country will be a part of the Ministerial Conference, and this meeting of the Ministerial Conference is held for every 2 years. The meeting of the Ministerial Conference is held for every 2 years. And the first Ministerial Conference was held in 1996 in Singapore. Right, in 1996, it was the first Ministerial Conference that WTO ever had in 1996. But today's topic of discussion is all about the Doha Agreement, which is the fourth Ministerial Conference. Let me first erase this. The first Ministerial Conference was held in Singapore, as you all know, just now we discussed. But the Doha Agreement was the fourth Ministerial Conference, which was held in Doha. What is Doha? Doha is the capital of Qatar. It's the capital of Qatar. So now in Doha Conference, there were many agreements and declarations that took place. And the most important agreement we can say is the TRIPS agreement. TRIPS means the trade related aspects of the IP, the intellectual property rights. Trade related aspects of the intellectual property rights, right? Now tell me this, which organization is responsible for governing and protecting the intellectual property rights, like the copyrights or the trademarks, the patents, the GI tags, the geographical indications. So all these intellectual property rights, which organization takes care of? Which is the governing body? It's the WIPO. WIPO is the World Intellectual Property Organization. I think you must have heard about this, the World Intellectual Property Organization. And the headquarters of WIPO is in Geneva in Switzerland, and this WIPO was established in the year 1967. All right. So these are the prerequisites. This is the introduction part of the IPR. Now let's get into the actual topic, which is the intellectual property rights. What is meant by IPR? First of all, what is meant by IPR? IPR simply refers to the creation of mind, such as the inventions, the literary works or the artistic works, the designs, the symbols, the names and images in commerce. So let me give you an example. There are two types. One is the physical product or the physical property. The first one is physical property, and the second type is the intellectual property. Physical property, I can give you many examples. Let's say your home or a building. That's a physical property. Intellectual property, physical property is not abstract. It's a concrete one. You can see, you can touch, you can feel. But coming to intellectual property, it has got something to do with the thought process. It has something to do with the mind. It may be abstract. For instance, if I say, let's say you invented something, right? You invented something. What made you to invent that? Behind that invention, there are a lot of ideas that worked in your mind, and accordingly you invented that. Can you see those ideas? Can you see with your eyes? Or can you touch those ideas? You cannot touch those ideas, right? Let's say you created a music. You created a music. Can you see this music? Or can you touch this music? No, it is completely abstract. Now, how can you protect this music, or how can you protect your work? Or let's say you wrote a book, and how can you protect your work so that no one else should claim that is done by them and that is their work? So for that purpose, the intellectual property rights came into existence. See, physical properties you can protect. You can protect your house by signing some legal documents and by registering the house in your name. But coming to this intellectual property, you need to like the music, or like patents for your inventions, right? For your artistic works, for your literary works, for your whatever it may be, for your designs. Let's say you designed something. So all these come under intellectual properties. We'll be discussing the types of intellectual properties one by one in the upcoming slides. So intellectual property rights means providing the property rights through patents, through copyrights, through trademarks. And if you are granted an intellectual property right for your work by the government, what is the benefit that you get? What is the benefit? So the holders of the intellectual property rights have the monopoly on the economic monopoly on the usage of the property or the items for a specific time period. So this is the advantage, the economic advantage that you get for a specific time period. It depends on the type of IPR that you take. If you take the patent rights, let's say you enjoy the right of making money commercially for 20 years, right? So till 20 years, no other company must manufacture the product that you made, and they shouldn't sell that. They shouldn't enter into the business of that particular product. So that's the benefit that you get. And the importance of IPR was first recognized in the Paris Convention for the protection of industrial property in the year 1883, and Berne Convention for the protection of the literary and artistic works in the year 1886. And what is the need of IPR? What is the need of the intellectual property rights? It encourages the innovation, and it boosts the economic growth, and it protects the rights of the creators, and it ensures the ease of doing business, and it facilitates the transfer of technology. If you are given the right, you have the right to sell your intellectual property rights, and you have that liberty to transfer your technology to other organization, to other company, or to other country, or to any other person even. We'll discuss more in the upcoming slides. So the IPR, what are the types of IPR? The intellectual property rights are broadly divided into two types. The first one is the copyrights, and the second one is the industrial property. And in industrial property, there are many subdivisions, like the protection of the distinctive signs, which are basically the trademark, the geographical indications. And the second type of the industrial property is the industrial designs and trade secrets, which are the patents, which are the industrial designs. You can also take the IPR for the trade secrets as well, like KFC, or how the Coca-Cola or the Burger King or all these companies are doing. So you can also take the IPR. You can also protect your trade secrets. We'll discuss this one by one, starting with the copyright. So copyright, what is meant by this? You all know that copyright is the author's right, in which it describes the rights that the creators have over their literary work, or even the artistic work. And the works covered by copyright range from the books, music, paintings, the sculpture, films, to even the computer programs, the database, the advertisements, maps, and technical drawings. So all these things can be protected under the Copyright Protection Act, and the time period of this copyright is 50 years after the creator's death. It's not 50 years from the date of protection, or from the date of application. It's 50 years after the creator's death. For instance, let's say one author wrote a book in the year 2010. Now let's say unfortunately that author died in the year 2015. Now what happens is, the copyright that he had taken, that is valid till 2015 plus 50 years, which means till 2065. Okay, so the important thing that you need to understand is 50 years after the creator's death. It can be author, it can be musician, right? It can be an artist in case of paintings. Whatever it may be, it is 50 years after the creator's death. That is all you need to know as far as the copyrights are concerned. And a few examples of copyrights can be applied for the literary works, for which you will see a disclaimer like this. When you open a book, in the initial pages, you will find this type of instruction, let's say, right? Copyright in the year 1971 by the person. Okay, and copyrights can be applied for even music, for the artistic work, for dramas, for recordings. So in all these things, copyrights can be applied, copyrights can be taken. The second type of IPR is patent. So patent, basically, a patent is the exclusive right granted for the protection of an invention, right? Invention, which is a product or a process, can also be a process that provides a new way of doing something, and it solves a problem. A technical solution to a problem. In simple words, it is an exclusive right to prohibit others from selling an innovation for a fixed period of time. Let me give an example. You invented a vaccine for a disease, right? Or you invented a medicine for a particular, let's say, deadly disease. Whatever it may be, let's say a disease, right? You invented a medicine, and that's completely new to the market. No one invented till now. Now, for that invention, for the struggle that you had taken, and for the money that you invested in the process of the invention of that medicine, and also for the money that you invested in the R&D department, for the research and development, what government will do is, if you take the patent rights, if that medicine is patented, the protection will be given by the government for over 20 years, for 20 years from the filing date of the application, right? So in these 20 years you can market the product, you can sell the product, and no other pharma company, I'm talking about the medicine that you invented, so for no other pharma company, no other competitors must use this formula, and they should not make the same medicine under their brand name, and they should not sell it. Once you take the patent, what happens is whatever it is there, all the ingredients, the complete formula will be open to the public. The government discloses that information, and if someone copies that, a legal action will be taken by that particular company. It's not a trade secret. There's a difference between patent and trade secret. If you take a trade secret, your content, the ingredients, whatever you are using, that won't be revealed to the public. Whereas if you take the patent rights, your ingredients will be revealed to the public, but they should not be copied. That's the legal protection that you get if you take the patent rights for 20 years. Hope you understood. The next one is trademark. So the next type of IPR is trademark. A trademark is a sign capable of differentiating the goods or services of one company from those of other companies, right? So a registered trademark is only valid for 10 years, after which you need to renew that. So but let me tell you one thing, you must have observed the difference, or you must have observed these two symbols, R and TM. Why do some companies or some brand names or some logos have R just next to the symbol, or just next to their brand name? And why some logos or some brand names have TM just next to them? Or TM, you can also find it here, you can find it here, R, you can find it here. So what's the difference between TM, which is the trademark, and R, which means registered? What is the difference between these two? Let me tell you, before that, let me tell you this. You can apply trademark for logos, you can apply trademark for a few designs. I will explain you. You can also apply trademark for the brand names, right? The brand names, McDonald's, Starbucks, or whatever the brand name it can be, you can apply the trademark. But what's the difference between a trademark and R, which means registered? To understand this, you need to have an idea on the process of getting a trademark. The first step that you have to do is you need to apply for a trademark. You need to apply for a trademark, right? And as soon as you apply for a trademark for your brand name, the government gives you an acknowledgement receipt, right? That you applied for this name, this particular trademark. The government, you will receive a acknowledgement from the government. Now, as soon as you receive this receipt, this acknowledgement, you can start using this TM, this trademark symbol to the brand name or to the logo that you applied, right? You can start using TM as soon as you receive the receipt from the confirmation receipt from the government. Now, what does this mean is you just applied for a trademark, but the trademark hasn't yet been granted to you. It hasn't yet been granted to you by the government. Just applied for the trademark. Now what government will do is, it will take around, government takes around 24 months, 18 to 24 months, right? 18 to 24 months, over 2 years, let's say 18 to 24 months to grant you the trademark. But what will government do in this period, in 18 months or in 24 months? What does the government do? So as soon as you submit the trademark application, what government does is government puts that the logo or the name that you applied in the public domain, so that anyone in the public can see that. And if someone claims that the brand name that you applied or the logo that you applied is the brand name or the logo of some other person, which means if some third party is objecting your trademark. Now, if this kind of objection comes, you need to speak with your lawyer and you need to explain the things to him and look into that issue. But if no such trademark claim or no such trademark objection comes in this period, then government will grant the trademark that you applied and it will register in your name, right? So that brand name will be registered in your name, and that's when you can start using this R symbol instead of this TM trademark. You will get the registration will be done by the government in your name after this clearance, and that will take place around 24 months. And after getting that the name registered, getting the logo or the brand name registered in your name, you can avoid using this TM and you can start using R. Hope you understood the difference between R and TM. So TM simply means you applied for a trademark but you haven't yet got the trademark registration in your name. And R simply means you applied for the trademark and also the trademark is registered in your name by the government after 24 months or around 24 months. Alright. Now trademark, you can take trademark to the symbol, to the logo that you want to start your business, or to the slogan as well. For instance, if you say McDonald's, I am loving it. If they had taken the trademark for this slogan, let's say, no one should use this slogan, no other restaurant or no other company must use this slogan again. And also you can also take the trademark for the color. You can also take trademark for the logo type. You can also take the trademark for the name. For instance, Coca-Cola, the name, for the brand name, and for the shape as well, for the shape of this bottle. No one should imitate this shape. Any other beverage company shouldn't imitate this shape of the bottle for their beverages. Right? So these are the areas in which you can take the trademark. And remember, trademark is valid till 10 years and after that you need to renew that. Okay. The next one is the industrial design, which is one more IPR. So industrial design consists of the ornamental aspect of an article, the design of the ornament. That's one type. One aspect, and the industrial design may consist of three-dimensional features such as the shape of an article or a 2D feature such as the color, lines and patterns. I'll show you the images in the next slide. And industrial designs are applied to a wide variety of products of industry and handicraft items, from the packages, the containers to to furnishing and also for the household goods, from lighting equipment to the jewelry, and also for the from the electronic devices. You can also apply to the textiles and all those designs. That's what you call the fashion designing. For instance, you took a piece of cloth and you designed something. It takes a lot of time. You put your mind, you invested your time, you invested your money, right? And you created a design with that piece of cloth. Now you can also take the industrial design. You can also protect your design so that no other designer copies that. Right, you can protect that, and also it is valid for 10 years and after that you can renew that. Okay, for instance, let's take iPhone. This design, these curves, this blueprint, no one must copy it. No other mobile manufacturer must copy this. Same applies with the other mobile manufacturing companies as well. For instance, let's say the forks or the knives or the type of spoons that you use, or the manufacturers that who manufacture these items, they can also take the industrial designs. I don't say everyone who manufacture all these take industrial designs, protect their designs, but there are companies who protect this, who protect their designs. Okay. The next IPR is GI tags, the geographical indications. We discussed GI tags in a separate video. You can check this video in the I button that will be displayed now. So geographical indication is a sign used on products that has a specific significance, specific geographical origin, and it possesses a reputation that are due to that origin. So geographical indication, for instance, let's take Karnataka. It has got Mysore sandal oil. So Mysore sandal oil is a geographical tag of Karnataka. And also, let's say Darjeeling tea. So Darjeeling tea, in fact, it is the first GI tag of India. So you can check out the video and you can know more about GI tags. And the next type of IPR is trade secret. Trade secrets are intellectual property rights on confidential information which may be sold or licensed. For instance, let's take KFC, or let's take Coca-Cola or the New York Times best seller list. So Coca-Cola did not patent its recipe. Instead, it applied for trade secret, because like I said in the previous slide, if you patent any product, you need to disclose all the ingredients, whatever you are using, to the public domain. If whatever the ingredients that are using in Coca-Cola beverage, if they are disclosed, you know what happens. So that's the reason why they applied for trade secret. They did not take any patents for the ingredients, for the recipes. Since it's a trade secret, nothing will be disclosed to the public, and everything will be confidential. Same applies for KFC as well. The same trade secret is being followed in this case, and all the ingredients that are used they were written in a copy, and by Colonel Sanders, who was the founder of KFC, and also they were kept in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky basically is a state in the United States. And if you consider the New York Times bestseller list of books, this is in fact, it is one of the most influential book list. And Times won't reveal its definition of a bestseller, because if it reveals how it defined a book as a bestseller, what happens is the authors or the publishers, they manipulate the sales data according to the conditions that Times is considering as far as the providing the bestseller list is concerned. They manipulate the sales numbers, sales data, and they try to be in that sellers list, in that best sellers list. So it doesn't reveal its definition of a bestseller. How is it considering a book as a bestseller, and all those things. So those are the trade secrets. Now let's practice whatever the things that we learned. The first question is, in quid pro quo stands for. So quid pro quo is basically a Latin phrase. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo means this, pro means for, quo means that. This for that. Which simply means something is given in exchange for something else. For instance, if I give you an example, if you invent something, like I discussed in the previously, if you invent something and you patent that product, patent that invention, now for that invention, for that, government will give you a monopoly. You can enjoy the monopoly on your invention for 20 years. And no other competitor must copy your invention and sell that. No other competitor must enter into the business of that product. So that refers to The exclusive monopoly granted for the term of the patent, right? So option 2 is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Under TRIPS protection for copyrights is given for a period of how many, let's say how many years? What's the duration? Is it 20 years after the death of the author, 30 years, 40 years, or 50 years? We discussed that. It is 50 years after the death of the author, right? So option 4 is the correct answer. Now, trade related aspects of intellectual property rights, TRIPS was a part of which agreement or which conference? Is it the Uruguay round agreements, or the Doha, or the Dhaka, or the World Bank policy of research report? It is the Doha Ministerial Conference. We discussed this in the introduction part, right? So IPRs protect the use of information and ideas that are they of social value, moral value, commercial, which means the economic related to, or the economic value, or the ethical value. It is the commercial value, right? And IPR in India covers, what does IPR cover? Does the rights cover patents or copyrights or trademarks, or all of the above? They cover everything. They cover patents, they cover trademarks, they cover GI tags, they cover designs, they protect copyrights, all those things, right? Now, choose the correct code for the following statements being correct or incorrect. Okay, so what is statement 1 given? IP is a category of property that includes intangible creations of the human intellect. That is correct. It includes intangible creations. It includes the abstract creations, not the physical goods like the building or the house that I explained to you in the introduction. Statement 2 is IPR does not include trade secrets and moral rights. IPR, doesn't it include trade secrets? IPR protects trade secrets and moral rights, right? So statement 2 is incorrect. 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. Where is it? 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. Option 3 is the correct answer. Hope you understood. Which among the following is not a correct statement regarding patent? Okay, so the Indian Patent Act 1970 was amended and made effective from Jan 1st 2005. So 2005 I am sure, but I don't exactly remember the date, whether it is Jan 1st or some other date, but 2005 is sure. Okay, let's keep it aside since we have that doubt. Let's focus on the other options. A patent is a legal protection granted for an invention that is new, non-obvious, and useful. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. The exclusive purpose of the patent system is to benefit the patent holder. Is it so? Just read this once again. It is not to benefit the patent holder. It's not to benefit the patent holder. It is the purpose of patent protection. The purpose of a patent is to protect the invention, right? The basic purpose is to protect the invention. It's not to benefit the patent holder. Okay, let's move on to the third one. The patent grants the patent holder the exclusive right to make, use, or sell the patent products and process. That's correct. So option 2 is incorrect, right? So because the basic purpose of patent system is to protect the invention, and it's not to benefit the patent holder. Okay, so option 2 is the correct answer. And let's move on to the next one. If a company develops a new technology that improves its main product, what type of intellectual property can they use to stop others from copying their invention? If a company develops a new technology, right, what type of IP can they use to stop others copying their invention? Invention, new technology, these are related to patent. If you write an original story, what type of intellectual property gives you the right to decide who can make and sell copies of your work? So story, copies, and writing, these are involved in the copyrights. You can take the copyright, you can protect your work with the help of the Copyrights Act. So how long do patents usually last for? So patents, when you invent something, you can protect it for, you can enjoy the monopoly for 20 years, right? For the first 20 years. So option B is the answer. So what protects the intellectual property created by inventors? Intellectual property created by inventors. Inventors and invention comes under patents, right? And what protects the intellectual property created by artists? Artists, authors, musicians, or all those come under copyrights, right? So option A is the correct answer. And what protects the intellectual property created by designers? Designer, when you design something, you can protect that through that registered designs. We discussed this. So option D is the answer. Where did we discuss the registered design concept? Yeah, in the industrial designs, right? These things. So hope you understood today's session. And if you want to join our CMAT GK course, you can join us, and I'll give the I'll share the link in the description below. And if you are looking for CMAT mock tests, and these are the details about our CMAT test series, in which all the ebooks of CMAT of all the sections will be provided, right, from innovation, entrepreneurship, quant, English, LR, DI, and GK, along with 10 full-length mocks, 300 topic tests, and these are completely updated as per the current pattern. And if you want to join our Super 20 batch of CMAT, you're most welcome. You can join us, which includes everything: the video lectures, ebooks, the full-length mocks, the topic-wise tests, study plan, and dedicated portal, and the expected questions and concept series for the innovation and entrepreneurship and GK sections. So hope today's session is helpful for you, and if you have any queries, you can reach me out, or you can just comment in the comment section. So thank you, and we'll meet you in the next session.